ITV has clearly been stepping up its advanced advertising activities recently with your appointment and the Planet V announcement. Give us an update on what's behind all this activity. What's really going on?
Fascinating time at ITV as we start to see the fruits of our labour and our investments in advanced advertising over the course of the last 18 months. As you are well aware, we will be shortly rolling Planet V off the production line. We've got agency partners lined up to get hands-on keyboards imminently, and we're very excited about that as a seminal moment in the transformation of ITV. Planet V represents probably the beginning of our journey in advanced advertising. It's probably the most visible manifestation of our efforts in this area. And over the course of the next 12 to 18 months, we'll be making significant investments in the development and further iteration of Planet V to ensure that it's fit for purpose for a programmatic, data-led, addressable world.
So tell us a bit about the background to Planet V. Why is it important for ITV? What's the proposition? What does it actually do?
The proposition is a response to the market appetite and expectation for more programmatic, more data-led buying, but done in a way that is on our terms, programmatic properly, I guess is how I would describe it. One in which we're ensuring that we maintain sovereignty over the entirety of the value chain. I think there is an indisputable move towards a greater market appetite for the efficacies and advantages that programmatic protocols can bring to the media buying process. But there have been a number of challenges which need to be addressed for us to have felt comfortable fully engaging with it. Those issues runs around transparency, around extraction from the value chain, and around what is in our best interest over the longer term.
And Planet V is very much based on technology that ITV has acquired, as I understand it, from Videology by way of Amobi. What does the Videology tech stack give you that you needed to buy?
So to be clear, it's licensed from Amobi, and it's the video assets that Amobi hold, and we have an exclusive license for the UK and Ireland. Within the platform, we have all of those conventional assets, which those folk who work in programmatic video for a period of time have been familiar with. So we have an SSP, a DSP, an ad server, and a DMP. But the way in which we've configured those is substantially different to how they are traditionally offered to the market. So we have within Planet V native to native connections through the entirety of that suite of products, meaning that we have high fidelity in terms of the integrity of the connections between the DSP and the SSP, which means decisions and allocations of inventory is very tightly tied to the orders and the buying manifests that are entered into via the buyer interface in the UI that the advertising agencies will be using.
And what kind of response is Planet V getting in the market? How are advertisers and agencies responding? It's
been incredibly well received. I've been joking with my commercial counterparts that if we'd been a little more commercially aggressive about this, we could probably have auctioned off tickets in the queue for those folk who wanted to get hands on keyboards first and have that first mover advantage. We've had very little in the way of pushback. I think the market is grateful and appreciative of the fact that we are fully embracing the programmatic world, and over the course of Q4 of 2020, we'll be rolling this out to all our agency partners.
So is the plan then to include more inventory in Planet V as time goes on? Will it help you solve for things like linear addressability or advertising on connected TVs?
So the aspiration is that over the course of time, many of our addressable and advanced advertising work streams will be consolidated through the Planet V proposition. At the outset, it will be powered primarily by ITV Hub inventory, and that's both VOD and simulcast. So there is a degree of linear addressable available to our agency partners at launch. In addition to which, we have well-developed programs and initiatives lined up that will enable us to bring scaled linear addressable into the platform over the course of the next 18 months.
So there's a lot going on in the UK market at present, as you know well. We've got Sky rolling out C-Flight, we've got various trials with self-service platforms, people are looking at ways to bring SMEs into the TV ad market. Do you see any common themes underpinning these initiatives? Why all this flurry of activity at the moment?
I think because finally we see that we are at that intersection point of where the technology that's available in the market is fit for purpose for what the broadcasters require. You need to bear in mind that in the UK market, we are obliged to operate under a relatively strict set of obligations as established by the regulatory bodies, talking about things like compliance and clash and category separation, as well as obligations with regards to advertising content that is not cannot be consumed by certain demographics, age groups, or certain parties. So rules around HFSS or alcohol or gambling and the like. So we're at a point now where the technology development has sufficiently progressed to the point where a lot of the concerns that the broadcasters had around not complying with those components have been addressed in the solutions that are available in market. Further to which, quite clearly over the course of the pandemic, there's been a material and well-documented shift to consumer viewing of content over IP 345G and on demand. So there's a much greater canvas upon which we can operate now, with content now available to us through programmatic channels, which hitherto wasn't available.
So the other great theme that always gets lots of attention in the UK market is about collaboration between the different sales houses. In your case, Sky and Channel 4, of course. Do you see much scope for more collaboration? Will you be trying to partner with other broadcasters to bring them onto Planet V? How do you see that kind of collaboration taking shape over the next couple of years?
So there's a relatively well-known public statement, an invitation that we've extended to the other broadcasters and premium publishers in the market to participate in Planet V. Without wanting to get ahead of myself, I can share that we have well-developed lines of dialogue with a number of parties in this space, and we're optimistic that come Q1 21, that there will be a number of partners operating within the platform alongside ourselves. I think further to which, that there are well-established lines of communication between ourselves and the other broadcasters regarding other areas of collaboration which we need to be consolidating against or around rather, to ensure that we are presenting one unified voice to the market that will enable us all to thrive and prosper.
So the other big announcement from ITV of late, Rhys, is the announcement of the Infosum investment. How does that dovetail with Planet V? How do the two interact?
So Infosum was selected after a rigorous RFI process to be the partner that we will be working with to extensively develop our data proposition and to enable us to create the utility node data to match it with data from other parties to create really detailed custom audience segments. Infosum has a unique proposition in market, which is designed specifically for a cookieless world and for non-movement of data, yet still enable parties to develop the same value propositions around their respective data, their data sets. And we've developed a solution which will enable us to work with advertising customers to match data sets and bring those data sets onto Planet V for the purposes of targeting and buying. We're really excited about the diversity of audiences that will unlock for us, as well as new revenue lines that represents in market. It's a game changer. And alongside Planet V, it represents a seminal step forward for ITV.